Hello everybody, this is Phonyto Bob and welcome to race number 24 of the 2020-21 NROL Skittles Cup Series season. This is the Phil's Propane 600 at Seekonk Speedway. Well, yesterday's race turned out to be a bit of a mess. I can promise you that things will go smoother today. Seekonk always brings action. Now this is a short track, so only a limited number of drivers can race. For this track, that limit has been capped at 28, so some drivers will have to go home early. So with that in mind, here's the event format. We'll start with 4 heat races. In each one, the bottom 3 finishers will go to the C main, then the next 4 finishers will go to the B main, and the top 5 finishers will advance straight to the A main. The winner of each heat race will earn 5 championship points. Once the heat races are done, we will then run the C main. The top 4 finishers in the C main will advance to the B main, and the winner will earn 1 championship point. Then will come the B main, where the top 8 finishers will advance to the A main, and the winner of that race will earn 3 championship points. Then the main event will commence. So, let's start. Here we go for heat race number 1 for the NROL Skills Cup Series at the Seekonk Speedway. So your starter for this one is Chase Elliott on pole, alongside him is Kevin Harvick in second. Third is Eric Almirola. Fourth is Ryan Blaney. Fifth is Matt DiBenedetto. Sixth is Joe Logano. Seventh is Cole Custer. Eighth is Ryan Preece. Ninth is Bob Wallace. 10th is Duck. 11th is Reed Sorensen. And 12th is Mummy. Alright, so this will be a rather interesting race. First time the Cup Series is taking time, today anyway, is taken to the Seekonk Speedway. Of course, this is the one series that did actually race here last year as well. But they're back again this year. Alright, let's hope the field can figure itself out. Alright. Cup cars back at Seekonk Speedway. Let's see what's going to happen in this race. Here we go. And green flag is in the air for heat race number 1 at Seekonk Speedway. Kevin Harvick getting a pretty good jump off of the start of the race. And Store's teammate Eric Almirola not too far behind. Yes. Pretty good battling here. Eric Almirola chasing down Kevin Harvick. Alright, Cup Series car is very fast. And Eric Almirola now trying to chase down Kevin Harvick. And Almirola gonna go underneath Harvick. And there he goes, Eric Almirola to the lead. Eric Almirola's been running fun a decent amount of times recently. And here he is today, now leading heat race number 1 at Seekonk Speedway. Meanwhile, here comes Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney doing pretty well in points right now. Looks like he might actually make the race. Well, I mean, it's really to tell, but you never know. Also, Ryan Preece. Preece got to try a little bit harder to make the race. Preece has actually raced here before. Ran a modified race here a few years ago. So he does have a little bit of Seekonk Speedway experience. All those guys don't have much Seekonk Speedway experience at all. As Eric Almirola now leading this race, but he's being chased down by Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney's been the most consistent driver this season so far. Trying to chase down Eric Almirola and win this heat race. Although he seems to be taking his time. Cup cars are actually pretty fast around Seekonk Speedway. But Ryan Blaney slowly but surely catching up to Eric Almirola. Meanwhile, Ryan Preece has now got himself back into the top 5. I'm sure Ryan Preece very much wants to make this race. And right now he's in a very good spot to do so. Oh, here comes another Penske driver, well, Penske and Law driver of Matt DiBenedetto. So we've got a few Fords up here. But meanwhile, the Chevy of Ryan Preece is now going underneath Duck. And Ryan Preece is going to get up to the 4th spot. Ryan Preece, you know, Junior Motorsports was thinking about putting him in the 8 car yesterday. But then Jed Burton decided to run the truck race, so they figured he would run an extra race. And Ryan Preece, well, he would pretty much just be thrown in. But Ryan Preece, he's doing pretty good today, running 4th. So Ryan Preece already in the best position that he can be, and will be able to move straight into the A main. So that's very good for him. But Eric Gamarola, who's led every lap since he took the lead, 1 lap to go, heat race number 1. Eric Gamarola, he's already won a race. He's run pretty well as well. And now he is about to win a heat race at Seekonk Speedway. Eric Gamarola wins heat race number 1. Almost got caught up by Ryan Blaney though. Huh. Yeah, I bet you if this race had a few more laps, Ryan Blaney probably would have caught up to him. Well, unfortunately there were no maps. That was the last one. So, your finishing grid for heat race number 1 is Eric Gamarola in with the win, Ryan Blaney second, Magdaleno third, Ryan Preece with a pretty good 4th, and Duck rounds out the field, or rounds out the top 5 drivers who will be making their way straight on to the A main. They have drivers behind Cole Custer at 6, Kevin Harvick at 7th, Chase Elliott at 8th, and Reed Sorensen 9th, who have to go to the B main, and Joey Gallon 10th, Bo Wallace at 11th, and Mummy in 12th, who will have to go to the C main. Okay, time to bring on heat race number 2. Alright, time to bring on heat race number 2. So the pro for this one is Bank Coaches, on second is Tyler Reddick, 3rd is the Real Xbox Nerd, 4th is Martin Truex Jr., 5th is Aaron Jones, 6th is William Byron, 7th is Nia, 8th is Douglas, 9th is Ryan Newman, 10th is Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 11th is Miss Lighty, and 12th is JJ Yaley. Alright, so Spire Motorsports is back. And also, both the YouTube Poop Motorsports drivers happen to be in this race. Alright, so it's time to see who goes on and who has to go, well, who goes up or down, basically. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how both the YouTube Poop Motorsports drivers do. Yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen 2 YouTube Poop Motorsports drivers in the same heat race. But Bank Coaches and Rich actually in pretty good spots here, so they pretty much just have to just stay in the top 5, and then they'll pretty much just make the race. But that might be easier said than done, as we've seen so far this weekend. Well, let's see what happens. And green flag is in the air for heat race number 2. Bank Coach doing a pretty good job with the launch, but the Real Xbox Nerd, his teammate, is already going to his inside. And the Real Xbox Nerd right now battling with his teammate to get to the front. And the Real Xbox Nerd is now going to take over the lead here. Not the smartest thing you want to do with your teammate, but okay, I guess. And the Real Xbox Nerd not the first. And you've got Eric Jones behind him. Eric Jones, your winner of last week's race, now up to 2nd place. Although lots of other drivers going on. They're going 3 wide for 3rd. As Martin Truex going to force it 3 wide. Alright, Martin Truex forcing it 3 wide. On Tyler Reddick and Bank Coach. His Bank Coach have to keep up a little bit as he's losing out. Here comes Ryan Newman moving up through the pack. He might overtake Tyler Reddick here. Meanwhile, for the lead, the Business Nerd now starting to set sail. The Real Xbox Nerd now pulling out to a pretty decent gap. He's going to need some points. It's worth mentioning. A couple of Joe Gibbs drivers battling each other. Here is Martin Truex Jr. Now trying to get around Eric Jones. Yeah, a couple of JGR guys getting to each other. And here is Ryan Newman and Mr. Lady. A couple of underdog drivers making their way up to this field. What is this? Mr. Lighty, Ryan Newman, these two are usually at the back. What are they doing getting around Eric Jones, a JGR driver? Wow, and here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr., another driver who's usually not very high up in the back.
You want your breakfast now?
Later.
You don't want to eat anything now?
No.
Okay.
Here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And Mr. Lady is making an overtake on Ryan Newman. What is this? Since when did since when did Mr. Lady get so good, this short track racing thing? Mr. Lady is up to 3rd place, beating some of the most professional. The reason that they do it for the winner, Tyler Reddick. What is this, Mr. Lady? What is this snail road stuff? Well, not a snail's pace driver, as you can see right here. Martin Truex Jr. in 2nd place, however. Not doing too bad. But Mr. Lady, an underdog, in 3rd place. Ryan Newman 4th. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has now got himself into the top 5. What is this? All these guys that you see running the back. Although Marky Sales Jr., he's about to get challenged here by Eric Jones. Eric Jones not wanting to miss out on this one. Eric Jones just won last week's race. He doesn't want to miss out on this one. He's got a few more laps. He got Tyler Reddick right behind him though. A couple of winners here. Okay, so Eric Jones, here he goes, trying with the pass on Ricky Styles Jr. But Tyler Reddick going even lower. Tyler Reddick is now up to 5th. Tyler Reddick, it'd be quite the embarrassment if he missed this race. Tyler Reddick, Daytona 500 winner. He's now up into 5th with one more lap to go. And the Real Xbox Nerd leads. He's led every lap since the start of the race. And he's going to hold off Martin Jr. And the Real Xbox Nerd is going to be in the show and will win heat race number 2 at Seekonk Speedway. And Mr. Lady with a 3rd. What about that? Some guys though didn't have the best of days. Well. So your finishing grid for this one is the Real Xbox Nerd with the win. Marcus here 2nd. Mr. Lady with a very surprising. Ryan Newman as well with a pretty good 4th. And Tyler Reddick running the top 5. So some pretty prominent drivers that have now fast-tracked their way right to the A main. Meanwhile, got Eric Jones in 6th, Douglas in 7th, Ricky Styles Jr. 8th, and Bangkok's in 9th. We'll have to go to the B main. And William Byron 10th, Nia in 11th, and JJ Yaley in 12th. We'll have to go to the C main. Okay, well, I was registering heat race number 2. Time to bring in heat race number 3. Okay, time for heat race number 3 at Seekonk Speed with some pretty prominent drivers. This one, so the 4th one is Freund de Bobber, alongside 2nd is Denny Hamlin, 3rd is Chris Buescher, 4th is Matt Kenseth, 5th is Alex Bowman, 6th is Christopher Bell, 7th is Paracer, 8th is Gridgen, 9th is Austin Dillon, 10th is Jimmy Johnson, 11th is Mr. Light's brother, and 12th is Quinn Half. Alrighty then. So Freund de Bobber on the pole for this one, driving, this week's, I guess we're saying this week's special Amtrak paint scheme. Amtrak 50 years of Paint America. The Phase 3-8 style paint scheme, also known as the Pepsi can. So Freund de Bobber, one of the few Cup drivers that did race in yesterday's Siemens Naxos race, it did pretty well up until the Hall sausages happened and his race went down. But at least Freund de Bobber did get some experience, and hopefully he'll be able to apply that experience into today's race. So we'll see how that goes. And green flag is in the air for heat race number 3 at Seekonk Speedway. Freund de Bobber as well, driving a pretty nice looking livery. And he's always going to get straight out to the lead here without any waiting at all. Here comes Chris Buescher trying to get to him. Whoops. Oh man, Freund de Bobber goes high though. Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher goes even higher though. And Alex Bowman now goes beneath Freund de Bobber. Okay. Alex Bowman now to the lead in heat race number 3. And here comes Matt Kenseth. Oh man, Matt Kenseth, who came out of retirement to take the place of Kyle Larson, who's now up into 2nd. And Freund de Bobber is trying to fall back. Oh, that's not very good for him. And Matt Kenseth in 2nd. And here is Denny Hamlin trying to take 3rd. Freund de Bobber trying to get it back together here. Although Gridgen is starting to come up here. Freund de Bobber though cannot fall back too much. And here is Gridgen now trying to make his way up to the field. But Gridgen now making his way past Denny Hamlin and Austin Dillon getting up into this top 5 as well. And Gridgen gets past Denny Hamlin. And here comes Matt Kenseth, the veteran with many years of experience, trying to chase down a young driver in Alex Bowman. Yeah, Matt Kenseth still trying. Ooh, he's just gonna dig his nose, but yeah, there we go. He's trying, and there he goes. Matt Kenseth goes underneath of Alex Bowman. Matt Kenseth in his 4th race for Chip Ganassi Racing. Looks like now he's gonna qualify for this race right off the bat. Well, he's still got a few laps left. Meanwhile, Freund de Bobber is actually falling a bit back, but he's now finally found his way back to the inside lane. So now he's had to make an overtake on Austin Dillon, and he'll be safe. Yeah, Freund de Bobber really cannot afford to miss this race. He has been doing that good in points recently. Oh no, but he's gonna get overtaken. Well, no, he's got Paracer. Man, what's up with Freund Bob? And this isn't supposed to be him. Anyway, Matt Kenseth, a driver who has about as much experience as Freund Bob, is now the one leading this race with 4 laps to go. And meanwhile, Freund Bob is now 2 positions outside the top 5. Oh no, he's only 1 position now. He actually had to overtake Percy Syrup now to get into the top 5, it seems. He's got 3 more laps to do it. He's the bounce out down up here. Chris Buescher safe in his position. Gridron, who's had a pretty trash season, he's safe in his position. And Alex Bowman as well, who hasn't had the best season, safe in his position. So it seems all the guys who have good, or who've been having not so good seasons actually, are the ones making here. And Matt Kenseth as well. And meanwhile, as a last lap battle to make the final track spot to go straight to the A-main, as Freund Bobbin is now trying to get around Percy, but he does. And Freund Bobbin now gets his way around Percy Serp. With 1 lap to go, this is the last lap. I was like, Freund Bobbin's going to hold them off, but Matt Kenseth is going to win heat race number 3 at Seekonk Speedway. Alright, I think a lot of the Kenseth fans would be nice seeing Kenseth back with a win. I mean, it's only a heat race win, but it's still gotta be special for the Kenseth fans. Right. So Matt Kenseth comes on with the win with Alex Bowman, second, third, Chris Buescher fourth, and Freund Bobbin just barely makes it into the top 5, but it's still top 5, so Freund Bobbin will race in the A-main. With Percy coming in with 6th, Danny Ham with 7th, Christopher Bell in 8th, and also the 9th. Those guys will have to go to the B-main. And then you have Quinn Helf in 10th, Misley's brother in 11th, and Jimmy Johnson in 12th, having to go to the C-main. Okay, now for the 4th and final heat race. This is going to be an interesting one. And here we go, time to bring heat race number 4. So starting for this one, Kurt Busch going to be on the pole for this one. Along second is Brad Keselowski, 3rd is Kyle Busch, 4th is Clint Boyer, 5th is Kana, 6th is Tim Tom, 7th is Oliver, 8th is Donald, 9th is Rebecca, 10th is Russell David, 11th is Daniel 6, and 12th is Derper. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. A couple of notable drivers in this one. First up, you have Kana. Kana is back again, this time going cup racing. Let's see if she can actually make the race this time. It'd be nice. And then you have Russell David starting a bit far back, but we have to note Russell David finished in 2nd in yesterday's Siemens National Series race. Came just 1 spot short of making the race, or winning the race, not making the race, winning the race. As field's a little bit cluttered here. We're gonna go racing in heat race number 4 at Seekonk Speedway. And Kana with a pretty good on the inside line, but Kurt Busch right now taking the position. And here is Kana. Wow, Kana, she wasn't very fast in yesterday's race, but here is Kana going around to the lead. And Kana leading in heat race number 1 to start this one. Of course, it's only the start, so you never know. But Kana, see now, this is the speed that we were expecting out of Kana. See, this is why a lot of us have been hyping up Kana. Oh no, well, I spoke too soon, it looks like. Oh, yes, you lose the car a little bit. Runs in a very bad position. As here is Donald now going underneath Kana. Both got Rebecca as well. Another female driver from Soa Motorsports 1 trying to do well, though Rebecca, her season has been absolutely garbage. So if Rebecca could improve her stats, that'd be nice. Here goes Russell David as well. Ooh, Russell David doing pretty good with using the experience that he gained yesterday to apply to today's race. Of course, now yesterday's race doesn't really count towards any points or anything, but this is the race that will count towards points. This is the race that will count towards the championship. So let's see if Russell David can impress in this one. Meanwhile, Rebecca, however, who has not had such a great season, is currently leading in this heat race, but she is not far in front of Russell David, who's going to try to challenge her for the lead. Man, oh man. Alright, so Rebecca, who's been having a garbage season, is now leading at Seekonk Speedway in a heat race. Not bad. Meanwhile, Kana, well, she was doing well, but now she's falling back again. She's going to have a few laps left to get up to the front, but she's going to have to make haste. As Rebecca doing a pretty good job leading this race. And Russell David, very impressive stuff. Very nice to see him using the lessons they learned yesterday to apply to today's race. And make the A main right off the bat. Because even in yesterday's Siemens National Series race, Russell David, he fell back down to the B main and had to qualify for the A main. This race, he's going to go straight to the A main and have absolutely nothing to worry about. Well, to provide you keep in the second place, of course. I mean, we're almost over. And here's something else. Derper is in fourth. What is this? I'm talking about Russell David here in a second. And now here's an ex-Bob Motorsports driver. Now running in fourth. Okay, Russell David, though, he's going to get overtaken by Donald here. Of course, Russell David's still in the top 5, so he's not actually losing out on much, but he will lose a spot to Donald. Not sure why Donald won that spot so badly, but to each their own, I guess. But Rebecca, she's a driver that some guys were hyping a little while ago, and now here she is in the first place, and also on the final lap, here is Kana. Oh man, she's trying to make it the last ditch effort. Okay, Russell David though, man, what's this? Russell David now is falling back. I was just getting all excited over him, and here he's falling back another spot. Now he loses spot to run up the extra ball motorcourse driver that we were just talking about. Luckily though, it's the final lap, and Russell David is going to make the main event, but Rebecca will win. He raced number 4 at Seekonk Speedway. Very interesting stuff from Rebecca. And luckily Russell David was still able to make it. He fell back down to 4th, but Russell David's still going to fast track right to the A main, so it will definitely be very interesting to see how Russell David does in the A main. Meanwhile for Kana though, again, he's going to fall back to the B main. And for a second day in a row, Kana is going to have to really try to actually make the race up. It's still the B main, so she'll get some laps under her belt, but man, oh man, a lot of people were hoping that she would go right to the A main, but still no. Rebecca, I mean, she's a very young driver, still ironing out some of her problems, but I definitely expected a little bit better from Kana. But anyway, so consider rest of the field. Rebecca though with the win at Seekonk Speedway in race number 4. Very impressive driver from her. Donald with the second, and Derper, who managed to move his way up into the top 5 and managed to even overtake Russell David. So you got current Tobar Motorsports driver got overtaken somehow by an ex-Tobar Motorsports driver. That is something. And Danger 6 as well makes the top 5. But once again, you've got these underdog drivers beating out some of the most experienced drivers on the grid. So considering the rest of the grid, you've got Kyle Busch in 6th, Brad Keselowski in 7th, Colin in 8th, and Kurt Busch in 9th. Now they're going to have to go to the B main. And in 10th, you got Clint Boyer with Tim Tom in 11th, and Oliver in 12th. Those guys will have to go all the way down to the C main. So I guess Tim Tom's garbage season continues. Okay, so speaking of the C main, it's time to bring that on right now. Alrighty, it is C main time. So your starting grid for this one is Clint Boyer is on the pole for this one. Alongside second is Joe Logano. Third is William Byron. Fourth is Tim Tom. Fifth is Oliver. Sixth is Nia. Seventh is Bo Wallace. Eighth is Jimmy Johnson. Ninth is Quinn Halp. 10th is Mommy. 11th is JJ Yeley. And 12th is Mr. Lighty's brother. Alright, definitely looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. So 12 drivers, top 4 are going to be moving on. Alright, so it definitely will be interesting to see how this race turns out. If we're getting a little bit cluttered up, I guess they're ready to do some action stuff for the restart. Look at that, they're all getting mixed into each other. Well, we're about to go racing 4 wide for the 4th, and green flag is in the air for Seekonk Speedway. He raced number C main, the Cup Series. And those going absolutely bonkers, and William Byron has just decided to get up to the front. I guess this is legal now. Here is William Byron, who has forced him up to the front, and his other Henry Motorsports teammate Jimmy Johnson up here as well. It's actually kind of surprising to see a couple of Henry Motorsports cars here in the C main. Something I haven't really noticed until now. Then I haven't really been paying attention to these Henry cars, but now they're running 1-2, and William Byron now leads with Jimmy Johnson in 2nd. All right, probably best though for Mr. Hendrick. Mr. H, that both of his cars in the C main make it onto the main event. Or at least up to the B main, I should say. And here's Oliver for a second. Here's Mr. Lighty's brother, who's now moved his way up to 4th. Alright. So Mr. Lighty's brother, who has fallen all the way back down to the C main, is now trying to get back up. And is trying to make the B main. And here's Nia, another one. Nia. It's actually a little bit of surprise to see her all the way back here. So here's Nia trying to get into the next round, but right now, top 4 is William Byron with the lead. And then you have Miss Lay's brother in fourth. Miss Lay's brother in the final transfer spot. The William Byron leads for now. To be honest, it is a little bit, what's the word? A little bit sausagey. That William Byron of all drivers is the one all the way down here in the C main. But luckily, he's making up for it by leading this race, and will, well, if he can stay up here, he will move on to the B main, of course. I think the Mercy battle might be back here, though. You've got Miss Lay's brother in the final transfer spot, although he's trying now to overtake Jimmy Johnson, and Nia isn't too far behind him. And Nia actually has a little bit of history at this track. She actually did pretty well here, back when the Cup Series first came here last season. This year, though, she's been nowhere near as good. Didn't really do anything in her heat race, apart from finish very close to the bottom, and now here she is, one spot short of making the B main. Quite a downgrade compared to last season. Meanwhile, though, a bit of a battle for third sort of going on here. Mr. Light's brother trying to find a way around Jimmy Johnson. Quite something. You got Jimmy Johnson in his retirement season, but you've also got Mr. Light's brother, who might also be in his retirement season. Of course, details a little bit unknown for Sail Racing going into the next season, but Mr. Light's brother trying to do his best in what could be his last season. And he's now trying to chase down Jimmy Johnson, the juggernaut himself. And Oliver is falling back a little bit. Oliver, quite a gap. Must have made a huge mistake, but he's lost quite a bit of ground to William Byron. William Byron just pulling away with this race. But the battle's still on. 10 laps to go. Still a battle for fourth or for third. And meanwhile, Joe Logano, right now outside the final turn spot. Here goes Mr. Lady's brother. And Mr. Lady's brother to the inside of Jimmy Johnson. And Mr. Lady's brother up to third. And what's up with William Byron? William Byron is falling back a little bit. And so is Oliver. And Mr. Lady's brother is now up into second place. What is this, Mr. Lady's brother? Here we go. You know, maybe Mr. Lady's brother, he didn't do so good in this area. Look at that, Mr. Lady's brother. Look at that, Mr. Lady. He's now ahead of some very high-profile drivers. And Mr. Lady's brother, he doesn't even run all the races because so much competition this season. But here he is now leading at Seacon Speedway, trying to score points. But he's still holding off Oliver for another 5 laps. And oh, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Oh, man. Still a good effort, though. As Oliver now about to take the second spot. And now, final transfer spot battle here. As Joey Logano was now about to overtake William Byron. Well, William Byron, he was leading in the race. And now he's going to go from first to fifth. Falling now outside the final transfer spot. As here is Joey Logano now trying to get back up on Miss Lay's brother. Miss Lay's brother, though, trying to hang on and make the B main so he can at least might be able to progress onto the A main. And now lots of stuff going here. It looks like Oliver is starting to slide out a little bit. And Joey Logano to make it to the field. And Jimmy Johnson now trying to overtake Oliver here. Man, this has come quite the battle. 3 laps to go. These are the top 4 drivers trying to get into the B main. And Jimmy Johnson now leads in the C main. 2 laps to go. Jimmy Johnson trying to win something this season. Oh, but it looks like the Jimmy Johnson prize is going to be spoiled by Joey Logano. As Joey Logano is going to now force his way underneath Jimmy Johnson. White flag, 1 lap to go in the C main. And Joey Logano is going to have to annoy a lot of fans here. And Jimmy Johnson's not falling back. Oh no, Jimmy Johnson's going to go first and fifth. They're going to go 3 wide. It's a battle for the final transfer spot. And William Byron only just grabbed the final transfer spot. Wow. So Joey Logano is going to win the C main, but William Byron is going to edge these guys out to progress onto the B main. That was quite the race there. And Jimmy Johnson, wow, he goes from first to not even making the race. It's amazing how fast things can happen in these races. But for Joey Logano, he is going to move on to the B main and score a point with Mr. Lay's brother in second. Still a very good effort by Mr. Lay's brother. At least he might have a chance to even make it up to the A main. Well, we'll have to see. Oliver, though, comes home with third, and William Byron, right at the last minute, grabs the final transfer spot in a 3-wide battle with Nia and Jimmy Johnson. Nia as well. She now comes one spot short of actually making the big race, so unfortunately, Nia, she will not be able to impress in this race or this weekend. And they got the rest of the field: Jimmy Johnson 6th, Kumpor 7th, Bo Walton 8th, Tim Tom 9th, JJ Gillian 10th, Quinn Alpha 11th, and Mummy in 12th. And Tim Tom, it's not entirely out of the question that, or not entirely insane that he's back here, because Tim Tom has had a pretty garbage season though. And garbage season indeed. And Boyer, it's a bit of a surprise as well, but well, not really a surprise. Well, it's a surprise, but it's not a surprise. Okay, enough talking about sausages. Time to bring on the B main. Alright, B main time. So let's give you starting good for. This one's on the pole is Bancoach. On second is Eric Jones. Third is Denny Hamlin. Fourth is Bracer. Fifth is Oliver. Sixth is William Byron. Seventh is Brad Kozlowski. Eighth is Cole Custer. Ninth is Ricky Stills Jr. 10th is Reed Sorensen. 11th is Kurt Busch. 12th is Kevin Harvick. 13th is Chase Elliott. 14th is Kyle Busch. 15th is Joe Logano. 16th is Kana. 17th is Christopher Bell. 18th is Douglas. 19th is Austin Dillon. And 20th is Mr. Light's brother. Alright, so in that C-main, we saw how quickly things can change. I mean, Jimmy Johnson goes from being in the lead to not making the show. So, let's just see now who will make the show in this race. This time now, top 8 drivers will progress to the A-main. So, essentially, this is going to be the final 8 drivers to actually be in the race itself. Which is going to, well, man, that race is up, though. It's going to be quite interesting. But, don't worry, race up is almost here, but right now we have one more qualifying race to run as the field get all excited here. I guess we're going to go full wide start here. Alright, full wide starting here now. Alright, here we go. And green flag is in the air for the B main. Bancoach's off to a flyer, and they're already going absolutely insane. 4-5 wide, but Bancoach is prevailing. Bancoach is always getting a little bit of trouble here, but of course that usually happens at the start of these races. And here comes Oliver now trying to get around Bancoach for a lead. Ricky Stills Jr. here as well. Chase Elliott and many others. Oliver though jumps out to the lead. And here is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. up to second. Chase Elliott trying to fall behind. And Christopher Bell trying to get up through as well. Ooh, Chase Elliott sticks his nose underneath Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And Chase Elliott up to second. You know, I've actually just realized how few 100 cars I've actually made the A-main. So now I've got Chase Elliott, another driver who's still, he hasn't, well, not locked into the A-main, of course. Or not into the A-main, you know what I mean. And here he is, though, in second in this B-main. And here is Christopher Bell, trying to stay up here. Field actually getting pretty tame. But this is a race with some length to it. As Christopher Bell makes his way through. Here's Joe Logano, your winner from the C main. Here he is now. He's going to make a couple passes here. And trying to get around Christopher Bell. And here comes Austin Dillon as well. Austin Dillon making haste. And here comes Kana. Finally, Kana's looking good for now. Only 9 laps in, though. We still have a long way to go. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying a long way to go in a qualifying race, but well, this is the Cup Series. Don't worry though, this race still has nothing on how long the actual race is gonna be. Remember, this is only a qualifying race. Ooh, Joe Logano slips up a little bit. Austin Dillon now trying to get to the inside of Joey Logano. And Austin Dillon to the inside of Joey Logano. And he might get another spot here on Oliver. Actually, this top 5 actually starting to pull away from the drivers behind. And now they're going 3 wide for the lead here. Lots of sliding up here. And Christopher Bell gonna search the lead. And here comes Kana. Finally, this is the performance from Kana that we're all expecting. And Kana is gonna try to get to Christopher Bell. Now, this is pretty early on in the race, so for once, I'm not going to get super excited about Kana until I know that she actually has a shot of making the race. And also, Dylan going to go back beneath Christopher Bell, and Joe Logano going to go very deep below Kana. And Logano, who already won the C main, we still have yet to see a driver win 2 qualifying races, but Joe Logano now goes to the lead. Wow. Joey Logano, he won the C main. Is he really about to do something here impressive in the B main? Well, someone who is finally starting to impress here is Kana, up in the 2nd place, very high up in the field, and Joe Logano slides high, and Kana goes to the lead in the B main. Absolutely incredible. And Kana, he still has a lot of laps left to go. This race is far from over. Meanwhile, battle back here. Right now, battle for the final track spots between Cole Custer and Kurt Busch, but we'll take on those guys later on. Right now, this lead battle up here is absolutely intense. And now here is Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski, who have now moved their way up through the field here. Man, Kana, this is the 2nd time she's been in this position. So, you know, in 2 qualifying type races, Kana has failed to make both main events. But it looks like now, oh man, she slides up the track a little bit. And here comes Kurt Busch back up here. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell goes to the inside of Kyle Busch. And Christopher Bell not going to be your new leader in this race. And Brad Keselowski getting up here as well. Kana, though, she's trying to stay high, though. And Brad Keselowski now back up to the lead. Man, Kana, she's the youngest driver on the grid by quite a margin. Trying to keep up with these professionals. And Brad Keselowski, still your leader, and Kurt Busch trying to get back to him. Now we come to halfway in the race. Still, a lot can happen these next 25 laps. Here comes Kyle Busch to make his way back up through the pack. And Kurt Busch going to go underneath Brad Keselowski for the lead. And Kana going to take advantage of what's happening here and go all the way to the bottom lane, make her way up to 3rd. Pretty good stuff. Oh, a bit of an aggressive battle though. Chase Elliott trying to stick his bumper to the back of Kurt Busch. And Chase Elliott, here he goes beneath Kurt Busch. And Chase Elliott to lead in Seekonk Speedway. Here comes Eric Jones. Eric Jones hasn't been the fastest today, but he is fast today. Or he's fast in this race. Eric Jones, last week's winner, is now trying to make the A-main to defend his race-winning title. Meanwhile, Kana, she's in a pretty dangerous spot now. Kana, she's going to have to improve her position now as she's starting to fall back. Oh man, this cannot happen now. She's still in 6th, and she could always make a comeback. It's never too late. At least, not yet it is anyway. Oh man, she's losing now. She's going to have to really get back up together, or get together now. Meanwhile, up front though, Chase Elliott now your leader with Eric Jones in 2nd. Not quite a lot of battling here, as Cole Custer and Ricky Sales Jr. made their way back into the top 8. Quite a lot of stuff going on here. Oh no, I think so. Is he not down? No, he can't be. Okay, well, something. No, he's okay. Never mind. He's updated. So Ricky Sales Jr. now up into 4th, and Chase Elliott your leader. Meanwhile, for Kana, she was up, but now she's fallen back. It seems she's settled into a position, though. Let's see if she can make up those spots with the remaining of the race. He still has another 15 laps to go. Chase Elliott, however, starting to pull away. Alright, Chase Lanier Jones just pulling out, checking out. Here's Ricky Jones Jr., who's actually been pretty decent today, up in 4th. He's in a pretty safe spot to make the race. Man, so much going on actually for the battle back. Here comes Cole Custer, gonna make up a couple spots here. Alright. But Chase Elliott is starting to check out in this race. Alright. Meanwhile, let's take on Kana. And she's still in a bit of a steep pack, so... Oh, Snell's is falling back. Wow, I was just commenting on Snell's being up here, but she's falling back again. I know I'm giving a lot of coverage to Kana, but there's quite a lot of hype around her. Or at least there was at the beginning. I don't know about hype now, but we'll have to just wait and see. All the top drivers, though, really not getting too excited right now. Here's Christopher Bell, trying to keep up with Kyle Busch. And if this is ever updated, oh no, I have. Kyle Busch right now, the driver in the final trench spot. But his brother Kurt Busch is coming up. And Kana was up with her now. She's fallen all the way back to the tail end of the field. Not the place you want to be with about 7 laps to go. Alright, the field's pretty tame up here. At this point, the battle is now for the final turn spot between the brothers Busch. And here is Kurt Busch. Now getting around Kyle Busch. And one thing is worth mentioning, Kurt's Chip Gannett teammate of Matt Kenseth made the race right off the bat. Whereas Kurt Busch, he's having to try a little bit harder to make the main event itself. 4 to go. Kurt Busch in a very good spot now. And Kana, she is running out of time. She needs to make haste. She has to pass another few cars here. 3 laps to go. I don't think she has enough time. Unless something catastrophic happens and she somehow makes up 3 spots in the next few laps, I don't think she can do it. 2 laps to go. It's still battling here though. Douglas makes his way around Kyle Busch. And Kana making back up through positions. But she's got 1 more lap to go. I don't think she can do it. Meanwhile, way up front, Chase Elliott is about to come to the stripe and will win the B Main at Seekonk Speedway. Alright. Oh, Kana finished 10th. And once again, Kana is not going to make the show. Oh man, 2 tries in 1 weekend, and she couldn't make either race. This time, though, it was a lot more bitter, as Kana was now 2 spots short of making the show. But she ultimately just ran out of time. She probably would have been able to overtake him, and she had 50 laps. But unfortunately, in those 50 laps, she just couldn't quite capitalize on the big amount of time there. So, yeah, well, better luck next time, I suppose. But your drivers who will make the show, we've got Chase Elliott with the win, Aaron Jones in second, Joe Logano in third, Oliver in fourth, Cool Cuts fifth, Austin in sixth, Brad Keselowski in seventh, and Kurt Busch in eighth. Those will be your final 8 drivers to make the main event itself. As for everyone else, you got Douglas in 9th, Connor in 10th, Kyle Busch in 11th, Perry Super in 12th, Denny Hamlin in 13th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 14th, Chris Bell in 15th, Kevin Harvick in 16th, Rich Lawrence in 17th, William Byron in 18th, Mr. Larry's brother in 19th, and Bang Coaches unfortunately fall all the way back down to 20th, so not even close. But, well, that's it for qualifying races. It is now time to bring on the main event itself. That is going to be quite something. So, as you see, we've already seen quite a bit of action today from just the qualifying races, but now it is time for the main event itself. This is the Phil's Propane 600 at the Seekonk Speedway. So, let's give you your starting grid for this one. Starting the pole for this one is Tyler Regular alongside second is Gridjim, third is Matt Kansas, fourth is Rebecca, fifth is Matt DiBenedetto, sixth is Donald, seventh is the Real Xbox Nerd, eighth is Kurt Busch, ninth is Brian Blaney, 10th is Brian Priest, 11th is Martin Truex Jr., 12th is Austin Dillon, 13th is Danny Chicks, 14th is Mr. Lighty, 15th is Eric Gunwilla, 16th is Derper, 17th is Joe Lagom, 18th is Cole Custer, 19th is Chris Buescher, 20th is Alex Bowman, 21st is Eric Jones, 22nd is Duck, 23rd is Chase Elliott, 24th is Russell David, 25th is Formula Bobbin, 26th is Brad Keselowski, 27th is Oliver, and 28th is Ryan Newman. Quite the starting grid. You got some slow drivers qualified fast, and then some fast drivers that qualified slow. Interesting. Well, that's just qualifying. You know, the big thing, though, who's going to be there at the end. Especially with the length of this race and how many laps we're going to be running, quite a lot could happen in this span of laps. I mean, just 50 laps, a lot of things happened. Now it's time to lengthen that out by 75%. It's racing time at Seekonk Speedway. Field trying to get lined up here. Field having a little bit of problem getting lined up. Okay, here we go. They're coming. Alright, here we go. It's time. And green flag is in there for the Phillips Propane 600 at Seekonk Speedway. Ty Reddick gets a good launch here. And Rebecca, who won her heat race up here already. And Rebecca trying to chase down Tyler Reddick to start this one. Rebecca, driver who's had an absolutely atrocious season, is now trying to chase down three-time winner, Daytona 500 winner, Tyler Reddick, who funny enough almost didn't make this race. Luckily here, Reddick is here and he is racing in the biggest race of the weekend. But Rebecca, though, isn't too far behind. Here comes Ryan Priest, putting his short track experience to good use today, running in third. And Cole Custer is falling behind. But Rebecca doing a pretty decent job by sticking with Tyler Reddick here. And Tyler Reddick signing up the racetrack a little bit. Rebecca might use this to her advantage. And Rebecca's going to put the back bumper to Tyler Reddick. Very aggressive stuff from Rebecca here early on. And Tyler Reddick is going to have to give in the position. And Rebecca goes to the lead at Seekonk Speedway. I have not had many opportunities to say that. But Rebecca is now in the lead in a race. And there's quite a lot of spinning and stuff. I just heard someone spinning into the wall. We're going to have a look here. Actually, no, we're not. Because, oh no, it was Mr. Lighty getting banged around by your points leader Blaney. Right, anyways, enough of that. Let's actually see what's actually going on here. Okay, Tyler Reddick now actually getting rumbled by Alex Bowman and Brian Priest. I'm forgetting names now. And Alex Bowman now going to take the race lead away from Rebecca. Alex Bowman, another one who's having a very good season, now to the lead here at Seekonk Speedway with one loss for Rebecca. Meanwhile, Oliver now getting up to second place here. And now going 3 wide for third. Brad Keselowski all the way to the inside lane. And Brad Keselowski up to second. Here comes Chris Buescher, and here comes Russell David. Russell David using what he learned in yesterday's Siemens Nationals race, really putting it to use in this race. Let's see if they can actually close the deal when all is said and done. But Chris Buescher up to second place here. Oh, he's going to stop the racetrack a bit though, as Russell David going to search beneath. And Russell David now in a pretty familiar position. Do apologize for my stumbling. Alex Bowman, however, out to a humongous lead here. Very big lead as the first point. Oh, race and battling though going on once again here, as Cole Custer is going to move his way up to second place. Here comes Frony to Bob Motorsports driver. Actual to Bob Motorsports drivers now getting close to each other. And Frony to Bob driving a special paint scheme, trying to make it look good. Cole Custer, though, doing a pretty good job here. And here's Ryan Newman, who's now made his way through the pack. He's going to make it 3 wide for third. And Ryan Newman makes up a couple spots here. Is now up to the third position. Ryan Newman pretty impressive early on here at Seekonk Speedway. It's about Motorsports related driving. It appears the real Xbox nerd. Rick Nerd doesn't have his YouTube Motorsports teammate at Bank Coaches on track here in this race. So he's got his other Tavon Motorsports buddies to help him out, kind of. Alex Bowman, though, pulling out to a humongous lead with all the battling. Alex Bowman starting to pull out into his own league. Oh, here goes Matt Benedetto jumping up into the action. Matt Benedetto going to overtake Ryan Newman for third. And Cole Custer starting to pull away a bit as well. And here's Matt Benedetto and other drivers getting excited. Here's Chase Elliott. Lots of banging and stuff. And here's Kurt Busch. Chris Busch, though, just got into a Bob Motorsports sandwich for a second there. And here's Ryan Newman now getting around Matt Benedetto for third. And Chase Elliott doing the same on Kurt Busch. And Ryan Newman trying to get a good finish today. Very early in the race to be doing this, but oh well. Chase Elliott as well. Moving on up. Right now, there's quite a gap. You got Ryan Newman in third, but then you have long gap with Cole Custer and Alex Bowman, who's just setting sail. And here comes Frony to Bobbin. Well, you got a little bit of learning experience in Siemens National Series race as well. Now trying to put that to use in this one. Of course, also for Frony to Bobbin, this is the race that really matters. Doing pretty decent to start this race. Maybe he'll be the one that'll catch up to the leaders. Alright, so for Noel by now, just slowly but surely getting to the back bumper chases, and there he goes. And Florito Bobbin up to fourth. He's now chasing down Ryan Newman. It's a pretty good action here, though, at the start of this race. And now for the moment, trying to chase down Ryan Newman some more. Alex Bowman might actually be losing a little bit, but, well, I say losing a little bit. He's not really losing anything. He's just trying to stay out there. But maybe he's harvesting something. I don't know. Well, actually, you can't really harvest anything in these stock cars. They're not like F1 cars where you can do lots of stuff. Although, maybe he's pulling a strategy of some kind. I don't really know. Although I should say, you know, with Alex Bowman sitting so far in front, he's able to lead a lot of laps. Now, of course, in this series, you really don't get any bonus points for leading a bunch of laps. So at this point, Alex Bowman is just doing this just because he can. And Florito Bobbin still trying to catch up to Ryan Newman. Sure is taking his time, though. Well, then again, there's a lot of time in this race. Of course, it's only the start of the race. See, now it feels like it's been a while, because it's been 34 laps, but there's 200 laps in total, because it's such a small track. All Ryan Newman's like up a little bit. Here comes Florito Bobbin. This is his opportunity. And there he goes. Florito Bobbin to the lead, to third place. And Ryan Newman actually going to lose a couple spots here. I guess another question, though, is how long until Alex Bowman catches up to lap traffic? There's actually a decent amount of gap here, you know. Oh, Ryan Newman, though, now getting back around Chase Elliott. And Ryan Preece about to get into this action as well. But throwing the ball, but now sitting its sights on second and first. Slowly but surely trying to catch up. I'll actually lose a little bit of ground this time. Don't worry, there's still a lot left in this race. Which is insane to say, considering we're already at 40 laps. But, you know, you look at that, you look at the lap count, we're at 40 laps. But then you look at how many total laps there are. Yeah. Yeah, usually at most tracks isn't really a problem because, you know, you kind of have an idea of, you know, where we are on the lap counter. Or how far away, or how long it might be till the end of the race. This race, though, not so much. Anyway, so Alex Bowman, I really don't notice much of a gap change between him. I feel they're starting to get pretty strung out now. And of course, after the start of the race, not a ton going on, to be honest. I guess one thing that's worth mentioning about the Siemens National Series race is that, of course, you know, we had to split that race up into multiple segments because for some reason the cars couldn't last the whole thing. Here in this race, however, we did do some testing, and according to our test, the cars should last the whole race. But with how strung out this field is getting, I am getting a little bit nervous. Of course, at this time we have, of course, in case the field doesn't last the whole race, we do have some measures to take, or just in case the event driver is not able to complete a whole race. Just in case. That's not to say it will happen, but in case it does happen, we'll make sure to clear things up. Anyway, get back to race itself. Ryan Preece getting up to the field here. Of course, no pit stops. We do have infinite stuff here. But Alex Bowman is now about to catch up to some lap traffic. We're now 25% into the race. And Alex Bowman has now caught some lap traffic. And here's Russell David. I don't know. Oh, dear. Russell David. Unfortunately, well, he was up here, but now he's fallen back to where he usually runs. Which is quite unfortunate. Oh, man. Russell David goes from Mike B racing for a lead to now about to be lapped by Alex Bowman, who is a man on a mission. He's already put Dane 6 lap down. And he's now catching up to some more of the riffraff. Couple Snare racing drivers, just not too far ahead. Yeah, dipper on the high line. And this really isn't slowing down Alex Bowman too much. Oh, he touches a little bit with Russell David. Oh man, quite disappointing for Russell David. We thought he had a shot to win, but now he's gonna go a lap down instead. As if there are no pit stops, no cautions. Ooh, man, I don't know. As Alex Bowman now starting to lap some traffic. You know, Alex Bowman, I really haven't talked about him too much this season. This whole season, he hasn't really been doing that good. Like, you say Russell David is doing very good. Alex Bowman, he's not even close to the playoffs. Because he's run so many races, so many subpar races. This is really the first race from Alex Bowman this whole season. We're nearly at the halfway point in the season. And here he is now coming to life. Racing at Seekonk Speedway. And he's so fast, he's starting to put drivers a lap down. A lot of drivers a lap down, actually. And look at him go. He's just passing these cars like nothing. Yeah, lapped cars, no problem for Alex Bowman. I think the question might be, how many cars can he lap? Russell David actually sticking behind him. Russell David might actually try to get his lap back here. Oh, he's lapping Tyler Reddick though. Tyler Reddick, three-time winner, getting lapped. Russell David though doing a pretty good job by sticking with Alex Bowman here. Yeah, although I am sorry to say, this isn't for the lead, this is Russell David a lap down. And Alex Bowman doing a pretty good job here getting around this lap traffic. Oh, he's got to get on Rich Snurd. I guess now as I'm looking at the drivers behind. Here's Cole Custer. Another driver who's now just encountered lap traffic, a second place driver. And throwing the bomb, and he's likely gonna be winding up encountering these guys as well. Now, one thing that's worth mentioning though, it will be interesting when Alex Bowman encounters more lap traffic, because is it gonna slow him down, or is Alex Bowman now gonna just dominate this race all the way to the finish? Because it wasn't, or it was actually quite a while ago to this point, that Alex Bowman took the lead in this race. He's had every single lap since. He's actually getting ahead. Wow. You would have thought this lap traffic would slow up Alex Bowman, but no. It's actually helping him. Because Cole Custer, he can't seem to find a way around these lapped cars. In fact, he's right now getting chased down by Freund Bowman. But Alex Bowman, oh, he's getting, ooh. Tyler Reddick, though, unlapping himself now. I don't know, but Alex Bowman gonna relap him. It is quite good how well Alex Bowman has done in this race, though. This is easily his best performance in his entire career, actually. I would say just the entire season has been impressive, but to be honest, Alex Bowman hasn't had as good of a run in his whole career. And it comes at all things a bull ring short track in Massachusetts. And he is pulling away from Cole Custer. Alright, Cole Custer, though, he is starting to get around these lap cars, though. Safe for Freund Bowman. So, right now, Cole Custer is starting to figure out getting around these lap cars. And he is slowly but surely getting back up to Alex Bowman. Safe for Freund Bowman. He's not far behind or Cole Custer. Freund Bowman does have one of the season, however, Cole Custer still yet to win a race. And same for Alex Bowman. The field's pretty strung out now. I don't really know what's gonna happen from here on out, though. I mean, thing is, we're not even at the halfway point yet. I mean, it does feel like so much has happened in this race, but yet we're not even at the halfway point yet. Alex Bowman is pulling away. That's pretty impressive. Here's Bobbin, who, unfortunately for him, was going to have to lap his own teammate. It is definitely quite something. You know, we all thought that Russell Davis was going to be able to put what he learned from yesterday's race. And forbid he did, but unfortunately now, Russell Davis has scaled back to, unfortunately, where he usually seems to be running, back in the 20s. Which is honestly pretty disappointing after he finished runner-up in yesterday's Siemens Nationals race. For Alex Bowman, however, he is very impressive. He's had no races to prepare this weekend. He's just, all he's had, of course, is the qualifying race in the Cup Series. And here he is. He's pulled out to a 4-second gap on Cole Custer. And this is a pretty insane thing about, too, because the Truck Series, mind you, they were battling like mad throughout the whole entire race. Alex Bowman, he's just set sail ever since he's taken lead. Although he is a little bit of ground here, though. A little bit of ground has been lost. Oh, what's this? A battle for second now, as Fronito Bombin now gets around Cole Custer. Wow. Didn't really see that coming. A change for second. Fronito Bombin now up to second place. And he's now trying to chase down Alex Bowman. All this would be a pretty good race win for Fronito Bombin, as this is technically a home race. Fronito Bombin, he's come a lot to Seekonk Speedway, attended many events here. And now, he is racing for the win. It's insane they didn't do this last year, considering how dominant he was last year. This year, though, Fronito Bombin not quite as dominant. But, here he is trying to chase down Alex Bowman. Of course, he's overtaken Cole Custer to do it. Alex Bowman, however, doing a pretty decent job here at actually keeping his lead. There's not much consistency in the gap. There's some laps he's further away, some laps he's lost a bit. So we near the halfway point in this race. And Fronito Bombin, he's overtaking Cole Custer. Starting to pull away from Custer. And now here he is trying to hunt down Alex Bowman. But, I mean, we're almost at the halfway point in this race. We still have quite a ways to go. But I don't think Fronito Bombin wants to wait too long to get around Alex Bowman. Who, I think it's safe to say, Alex Bowman has led the most laps of any driver this whole weekend. I could be wrong about that, but he might have that stat after some more laps. Alex Bowman is doing pretty good here at getting around this lap traffic. In fact, right now it's down to the top 18 drivers that are on the lead lap. Alex Bowman across the stripe here. We are now at the halfway point in this race. 100 laps to go. But Alex Bowman just has to hang on. He's still quite a ways ahead of Fronito Bombin. And Fronito Bombin actually having definitely a little bit difficult getting around this lap traffic. Here he is getting handled by Dangerous Hicks. It looks like drivers haven't pitted yet. I don't think they ever will, so looks like we are safe to go all the way until the checkered flag. And Fronito Bombin now getting around Dangerous Hicks. Meanwhile, for Alex Bowman, looks like now he's just hanging behind Chris Buescher. Yeah. I can't really tell where this is gonna go though. See, now is Alex Bowman? Oh, no, it changed every lap. Some laps he's gained a little, sometimes he's lost a little. But we'll see, there hasn't been any big changes. As what has happened here, I missed about for past per second here. As let's go back a little bit. I didn't quite see this, but it looks like that Fernando Bourbon has had a little bit of difficulties of his own, and has now been overtaken by Cole Custer. I must explain why Alex Bowman gained a little bit, as Cole Custer has now overtaken Fernando Bourbon for second. Wow. I don't know what's going on with these guys. But it is definitely quite interesting to see how well Alex Bowman is doing in this race. And now he's about to... Oh yeah, that's Mr. Lady. Mr. Lady about to go 2 laps down. Yeah, it looks like Alex Bowman gonna lose, or gonna use Chris Bush's bit of a pick here to get around Miss Lady for the second time. And Alex Bowman setting his sights on Chris Buescher as well. He's got a 4-second gap on Cole Custer. And yeah, Cole Custer, he's not really having the best of times getting out of this lap traffic. And actually was this. Most Davis now he's now gone back around point to Bobbin. Wow. So the field is getting pretty stretched out now. It's come to a point where there really hasn't been much battling. Alex Bowman has led so many laps now. In fact, I think now we can officially say he has led more laps than any driver for this whole entire weekend. Because even the Siemens Nationals, we had some, you know, I mean, we probably would have had a driver lead so many laps, but then, of course, we had to split the race up into segments, so we wound up having 2 restarts. Although, this race is definitely what would have happened if the Siemens Nationals Series did continue and didn't have those interruption breaks. As Alex Bowman has led so many laps now. In fact, ever since he got into that big gap on Cole Custer, he has never looked back. And Fernando Bourbon actually losing some positions here. Wow. So Fernando Bourbon, he's now falling back a bit. Pretty disappointing. And now Chase Elliott up to 3rd. Truex is down both spots, up to 4th. And Ryan Preece in the top 5. And there is Fernando Bourbon, who's falling back down to 6th. Ryan Preece actually using Austin does a bit of a pick here to get around Mark Truex Jr. And there he goes. Preece up to 4th. It's good to see Ryan Preece run well today. Honestly, Fernando Bourbon's gonna try to get a spot up on Truex Ball, though now he's got Kurt Busch and Eric Jones behind him, so Fernando Bourbon also has a bit of competition behind him to deal with. Not just competition in front of him. And there he goes, Fernando Bourbon now around Martin Truex Jr. for 5th. Priest up to 4th. And Cole Custer now pretty much in his own world. Cole Custer just sitting in 2nd, a long ways separated between the leader and third. Cool, cause he's actually been on a number of decent runs recently. And right now he's on his way to finishing second. I will say he probably would like a bit more than a run-up finish. But at least he is doing pretty well today. Meanwhile, Chase Elliott pulling ahead. And Russell David was trying to stay ahead of these lap cars. Fernando Alonso, he's falling back. He's falling back. So it's like they're still battling, but they're battling back here, rather than battling up front. Alex Bobich is pulling away, and Ryan Preece now about to overtake Russell David. Not quite the performance you want to see today, though, from the young Toban Motorsports driver. In fact, Russell David is actually in the battle now for Austin Dillon for 24th. So you've got a back-end battle, while these guys are racing for a much bigger position. As here is Eric Jones and Kurt Busch. Now on the inside line. Kurt Busch getting around Eric Jones, though. I will say I am impressed with Eric Jones. He wins last week, and now he's about to back up his win. Well, I say battle to back up his win. He might be able to back up his win with top 5, although, okay, he's falling back a little bit, though. About to get overtaken by his Jogas Racing teammate, Martrix Jr. And Russell David about to unlap himself. Well, I say unlap himself. He will be able to get around another car for a sort of position. You know what I mean. So Felix Bullman, though, he is just gone at this point. He's lapping more and more cars. I think now it's a question of how many cars can Bowman lap before this race is over. How many cars can put a lap down before the completion of this race? Because at this point he's gone. Absolutely gone. Almost 5-second gap on Cole Custer. And Custer, he's actually got so many lap cars with him and Alex Bowman. At this point, he can't really do much. You know, I was actually talking about the lack of Henry Motorsports drivers in this race. As far as Henry Motorsports, you only have Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott. But I am pleased to say that now both Henry Motorsports drivers are in the top 3. And one of their Motorsports drivers is now absolutely crushing this race. So you had William Byron and Jimmy Johnson, who didn't even make the race. And then you also have Alex Bowman, who's absolutely just dominating this race. Meanwhile, a little bit of stuff going on here from among some lap cars here. Eric NROL going underneath a couple of Snailwood Racing drivers. I think Snailwood guys are going to have a pretty good point today. I say good, they're in the 20s, so I mean, okay. It's a decent points day for them. Especially considering, you know, like I said, they don't run all the races. You know, I begin to think what Kana would be able to do in this race. Yeah, I know, I'm still talking about Kana. But I myself was at least a little bit excited to see her again, and yeah. Of course, Kana will be back on track again in a little while. Cole Custer is doing a pretty good job here at getting around these lap traffic, or these lap cars. Chase Elliott about to do an even better job. He's going to go around these both Snailwood Racing drivers at one time. And Chase Elliott now up to third, or well, I mean, he was already in third. Except now he's getting run these lap cars. So, looking at Alex Bowman with 50 laps to go, less than 50 laps to go. He's overtaking Matt DiBenedetto now, and actually, top 16 cars on the. Has he lost some? Or, I mean, he hasn't really lost anything. But it looks like some drivers have actually been able to unlap themselves. And dare I say it, Cole Custer is gaining a little bit. A really tiny little bit. As here is Matt DiBenedetto trying to get around Alex Bowman to try to unlap himself. And Matt DiBenedetto is going to show up to Alex Bowman and unlap himself. Wow. Now, I thought to say that Alex Bowman is slowing up. Because he still has a big gap on Cole Custer. Not as big as it once was. It is shrinking a little by little, but Alex Bowman, he could always get that going back up here. There's a bit of a battle here between Matt DiBenedetto and Tyler Reddick. You know, as far as how many cars Alex Bowman's been able to lap, he actually hasn't lapped all that many, all things considered. .40 laps to go this time by. This race has become the Alex Bowman show, who has led every single lap ever since he got away. Every lap. He's now once looked back. I'm actually curious to see how many laps that Alex Bowman has led in this race. And this is honestly some of his only laps led in the season alone. And now the one race that Alex Bowman is actually leading laps, he has absolutely dominated this race. Ever since lap 34, I think it was. It's amazing. All these laps later, he's still in first. He's got a decent gap ahead of Cole Custer. On his way to getting his first career win. As James is now about to unlap himself here. But at this point, that's not such a bad thing for Alex Bowman, as he still has that humongous gap on Cole Custer. He just has to stay focused, not let anything happen, and he has his race in the bag. Just utter domination. Possibly the most dominating performance we've ever seen in a race this season. And a dominating performance is actually pretty impressive. And of course, this is the first time we've seen such a dominating performance. Well, I mean, actually maybe it is the first time we've seen such a dominating performance this season. I don't know. Alright. And what's this? Chase Elliott gone around Cole Custer. Let's actually look back a little bit. That happened quite a couple laps ago. So let's look here as Chase Elliott has now gotten close to Cole Custer. And he's going to overtake Cole Custer here for second. And Chase Elliott up to second. And now we've got Hendrick Motorsports running 1-2. Chase Elliott, who already has one win this season, now about to, well, likely finishing the runner-up spot to Alex Bowman, who now has 30 laps to go. 30 more laps to complete before his ultimate victory. I say ultimate victory, and not that wasn't the best choice of words, but still a very good victory and the ultimate point of this race. As laps continue to wind down, Alex Bowman hasn't looked back since he took the lead. And he's now about to lap James 6 again. And yeah, that's the second time he's lapped James 6 in this race. James 6 now going 2 laps down. And now, there's not much more to say. Looking at another 25 laps of Alex Bowman domination. It's quite something. Quite something that Alex Bowman has been this good today. And the gap between him and 10th is getting bigger as well. Even though Chase Sutton is in second, he's still quite a ways behind his own teammate Alex Bowman. And Bowman is now doing so well. Well, actually, he has a little bit of a ways to go if we were to put somebody a lap down, or a second lap down. Well, funny enough, Bridger was a lap down at one point. I guess he got together, but now he might fall back a little bit again. Now, granted, we still have another 20 laps to go, so we'll see what happens. Now I'm about to put Tyrek a lap down again. There really has been much to report. Alex Bowman has just been so dominant today. I can't recall how he made it into this race, whether he gone right off the bat in a heat race or he made it through the B main. But regardless, here he is today. He's doing so well. I mean, it's amazing. Usually a driver gets out in front, but then they get caught back up again. But now Bowman, ever since he took the lead, he's never had to look back. And he's put up an absolutely crushing performance today. And it's not going elsewhere either, honestly. Chase Sutton, he's pretty much settled in the second. Cole Custer now in third, and Ryan Preece running fourth at this point, just closing out the laps. But Alex Bowman, quite the down performance today. In front of Bowman as well. He's falling back a little bit. Looks like it's become more of a test session for the Tobago Motorsports guys. Is now in front of Bob, and despite him running 6, he's now being followed by his teammate, who is unfortunately a lap down. It is a little bit disappointing to see, as Russell Dillon almost won yesterday's race, and now this race, he's a whole lap down. I figured he might have been able to catch back up, but no. Ever since Bowman took the lead, it's pretty much been over. They do say it's never over until it's over, and That's the case most of the time, but it seems for now it might just be over as Danny 6. Oh my goodness, 86 at the last second trying to get a lap back on Alex Bowman. Danny 6, he came out of nowhere. And here he is, getting around Alex Bowman. 5 laps to go. Alex Bowman actually losing a little bit of ground here. Now he's gone back a little bit more, but at this point, it's so late in the race, it doesn't really matter. 4 laps to go at Seekonk Speedway. It's just been the Alex Bowman show at this point. 3 laps to go. 3 laps yet to turn of the circuit to bring it home. And Cole Custer, though, at the last second, has found his way around Chase Elliott. Very last minute run for second by Cole Custer. And there he goes, making his way around Chase Elliott. And Cole Custer looks like he's going to go on to have a runner-up finish. But for Alex Bowman, 2 more laps. 2 more times around this track. Trying to lap Dane 6 again. And 1 more lap to go at Seekonk Speedway. And nothing more to say. Alex Bowman, 2 more corners to go. He has been unmatched since he took the lead. Alex Bowman, who get his first career NROL Skittles Cup Series win in the Phil's Propane 600 at Seekonk Speedway. That was quite the performance from Alex Bowman. Just absolutely crushed the field today. He was the driver that escaped from the field after a while. And he never looked back since. And he is a winner. Not much more I could say, to be honest. This was pretty much the Alex Bowman show. Oh, wait, what? Chase Elliott finished second? I thought... Wait, what? Huh. Okay, we'll take a look at this in a little bit, but... Wow. Looks like Chase Elliott pulled the crosser move. 2 laps to go. And Chase Elliott, wow, right after Cole Custer pulls the crossover move, or no, right after Cole Custer pulls the move, it's Chase Elliott that now pulls the crossover move. And immediately gets back into second place, which results in a Henry Motorsports 1-2 at Seekonk Speedway. Well, there you go. That was quite the race. Quite the long race. I mean, it felt long anyways. This race didn't even last an hour, but honestly, it feels quite long. But there you go. Alex Bowman comes in with the win with Chase Elliott second, Cole Custer in third, Ryan Preece in fourth, Kurt Busch fifth, Ford Bob at sixth, Joe Logano seventh, Rebecca in eighth. Rebecca, pretty good job getting a good finish today. Mark Schuer in ninth, Matt Kenseth in 10th, Eric Jones 11th, Don 12th, Doug 13th, Richard 14th, Myron Blaney 15th, Tyler Rex 16th, Oliver 17th, Ryan 18th, Matt Bennett 19th, Chris Busch 20th, Eric Earl 21st, Rick 22nd, Brad Kells 23rd, Ross Day with a rather disappointing 24th. Better luck next week, I suppose. Austin Dillon 25th, James 6 26th, Durper 27th, and Miss Lady rounds of the field 28th. So, the 2 snare rooters that gonna off the bat are unfortunately the drivers who gonna take up the end of the fields. Well, there you go. That's it from Seekonk Speedway. That's the Cup Series of Seekonk. And it's amazing we've done this many races in the state of Massachusetts alone, but that is the end of the Massachusetts race. We'll still be in the Northeast for the next race, but at least it'll be in a different state from Massachusetts. But that's all for this race. That's all for this week. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.